This is the yearly ASE, right? And let's see the simple forecast. Actually, I was not prepared for this. Right, still wrong. So no, the monthly 0 to 12 hours. This is the monthly ASE, and there is 7 days left. No, 8 days left from this month, and we are in a bearish period on the USD CAD, which means for the next week, actually we looking for future USD weakness and Canadian dollar strength. This is the regional pairs, like you know, and I want to see the Canadian dollar. If you see how the market is closed right there, the UXY was the strongest, and you saw a big reversal on the most pairs of the GPY. But on the regional pairs, the USD CAD went the most down, which means if the USD got weakness, the rest of the currencies have place to get strength, and you see the closing here. And from this, I would also expect for next week the Japanese yen for the strongest pair actually, and also the AXY. If you see the Audi NZD, the another regional pair, the Australian dollar went from the box from the monthly ASE, and there was a divergence. There's place to go up like 100 pips. This zone will be the key level. Actually, what is the next move of the market, in my opinion. Let's see. It's quite a big uptrend. You see where what I mostly like in the ASE is when you see the downtrend clearly and the uptrend. There are two differences when the boxes go down and the boxes go up, of course. And this happened a long time ago, actually, that we broke out the box was here, and it's about also 150 pips, the same as we see here. So for the next move, I would expect here is also divergence, which is here not a clear sign because we are under zero line. We're getting a bullish period, but there's still a bearish momentum in the whole picture. But the Audi was stronger than the NZD, and next week is gonna stay the same, in my opinion. So to recognize this, first the Canadian dollar, now the Audi. Those are the strongest pairs. The Euro, GBP, the Euro, closed better than the GPB, and we see also an uptrend going on here. It was also divergence in the two of them, but also trend line break. It shows, you can see here was the previous down move, which broke about this zone, and so this will be the next trend line from the momentum. And here was the fake out, which is also in divergence. This is also a repeating pattern if you see this. So even if we go up, I would wait for a retest and watch the price around this line, because when you see the destroyer, it's on a larger on a smaller point of the market, but still the volume is increasing. So if the price going up, there will be a huge difference around this zone here. But still, there is a bullish momentum in front of the zero line. So want to see next week how the market reacts on this area. And the euro Swiss franc, yeah, there is a new uptrend going on. That's clearly a downtrend in the past. It's a bit up, and then you see the price going slowly down, but now there will be a huge difference, like this point. Oh no, it's the same area. So actually the previous high didn't broke, and there's also divergence. So for next week, the euro closed stronger than the CHF, but for next week, I will bet on the CHF pairs actually. So the conclusion of the regional pairs is we are looking for a stronger CAD, a stronger Audi, a stronger Euro, and a stronger CHF, which means we got USD, NZD, GPB, and in some cases Euro. But we are going to the next of the indexes and see what's happening there also. Trend broke. Nice. We got the same angel. Yeah. Sorry guys, but yesterday it's still in my head. So if I make mistakes because of that, but it's also nice divergence in front of the trend line, which is also good confirmation in the most of the cases. And also the next trend line is about to start here, and I think will normally start from here, but here is a consolidation, which means there is a lot of connection. So I will draw on the connection, and if this breaks down, yeah, then and we're looking for the next down move. The DXY, yeah, this is also key point of the market, because we are around the zero line. And let's see, on the yearly basis, we are, if you see this, the price is way too high than where the price should be actually. This was also a great channel going upwards. Just on a yearly basis. And yes, this is the first highest point, and this angel will be right. This channel. Yes, okay. So, want the price going back on this line, maybe just it. Which is also a lot of points actually, but I'm expecting a further weakness from the USD. Right, the EXY. When you see the chart like this, oh, there was a channel as well. See, the channel broke down, and after that happened the bigger move actually, which is also the yearly opening. But let's see. On Heikinashi, because we see the closing properly on those charts. We didn't saw divergence at all, but there is a huge divergence in the structure. What's happening on the WVV plus? You see, the price closed way under than where the WVV plus is going to. So it's a higher point of the market. And this was a reversal, what we saw. Of course, on Heikinashi, this looks a bit different, because it's something like this. If you see the rest of the GPY pairs, I would focus on the USD and the GPY. Actually, I think this will be a huge opportunity for the next month. The AXY, yeah, we're also in the yearly zone here. Yes, and the same like on the DXY. Got here also channel going down, which is start from here and like this. And I expect here the same, but it will be first in EM, probably the touch on the underside of the trend line, my opinion. And we are also bouncing from the zero line, but there is still a bullish momentum. So, see on weekly basis, the price is doing the same thing, making structural divergence and the VV plus, because the price is going down, but we see the crosses rising as well. Here was a small divergence, so this can be a reversal actually, and we are also on the underside of the zone, of the yearly zone. The ZXY is kind of the same thing. It's interesting. Kind of the same thing. What we see here. But there is also a big difference in structure, because you see the volume rising in the VV, but the price is almost on the same place, right? Which means there is also divergence, but to the downside. Which means this is correctly that we're gonna get a stronger Audi instead of a stronger NZD in this case. And you see on this we're also making like an M pattern, which is also repeating mostly of the times of the V. Is another one. Search for the M's and search for the V's. Don't see here a channel actually. We bounced from the yearly opening, which was here. Price tried, but yeah, maybe now it's time for next consolidation, and we'll see a smaller down move and to make a continuation divergence. So I don't think, even if we go to the downside, we don't gonna break this level here. Or there is another scenario that next week it is gonna break, and the next possible move is gonna be a retest on the zero line. That's the second possibility. But the difference here in, I would say, there is still a move to the downside, but let's see on a smaller time frame. Yes, this broke here. We got a small trend line here. This could be the retest. I can actually start to say where is the price actually closed, and I would follow this line, which is also trend break. So basically we are in an uptrend on 4 hour, and even if this is ranging, and I think start of the week, that's gonna be more of going sidewards, but next week, maybe Thursday, can be a potential move. Wait for a second. We'll open the economic calendar. Let's see what's next week. Oh, we're gonna start the week with Audi news and following with the Chinese news, which is a currency we don't trade on. Actually, it's gonna be interesting. So probably I won't sleep today. And then the following, there will be kind of liquidity in the market because we see on 10 o'clock also the Euro news, which is not a big news actually, but there is possibility for volume in the start of the week. So the Tuesday also the before business, don't expect big move from it, but there's chance for liquidity. And this Wednesday, this will be the CPY of the Audi. Yeah. I think this is what I thought. So Wednesday is a good day for those who are awake at night. And after that, the trade balance, also not a big deal, my opinion. But this, the rate decision of the Canadian dollar, yes, this will be also interesting Wednesday. Yeah. So and also guys, now if you're trading on the GPY, be careful because when you get a higher liquidity, the pips increasing but a lot. I will come back to the SXY next, but just to show you, like because of these two candles, you see the price here went like I think in this area 40 pips, but the same area here it's not the right what I was searching for, the USD. So basically what I want to say is when don't see those big candles, right? There will be, this is about 100 pips. This will be also 100 pips, but this was like difference when there is a low liquidity in the market. So be careful with your lot size when you're trading on this, because normally on low liquidity, this will be about, I think, 30 pips, but in the same place now, is it about 70 pips? No, and now maybe you see what I mean by this. So just want to be careful and use smaller lots, or of course, even if your stop loss is high as this, use the risk management on these pairs, especially on GPY. Okay, waiting for correction and the next move. Actually, this will be nice on the 50 and the 60, but I would rather shoot on the 50 this time. Oh, let's go back to the SXY. Hey, Knashi. So on week start probably. Then you see the yearly candle is also bullish, bearish as well. Sorry, and here was a divergence, a small one, and we gonna head into the next divergence in the market, right? With this candle, it's happening right here. There is also a reverse, so small one in the structure. See on smaller time frame. We let it. And it's hard to say on Heiken because we don't see that nice how it's closing, and the structure is also changing when you use Heiken, but you can recognize this, right? When you see on normal candles, this candle started around this area. See one more time. Started here with a huge gap, actually. 98, around this level. This candle started, and if you see the difference in the destroyer, also huge. So that's why that's still under the zero line, which is also a fact. We would not reject actually the BXY. Oh, oh, this is interesting. Also a huge down move, and we got a major trend. There is a lot of connection here. This, for me, this is the one of the most perfect trend lines, because this connection gives the angel of this trend line. Actually, it was also divergence close to the trend line, and even if we are looking for the minor trends, there's also one minor trend, but it's stopping here to the same point. Next is going like next stops. So this is interesting. That's why we are looking for a weaker GPB, but mostly the USD actually, but weaker GPB. This is a clear thing. Weekly basis. No, there is also a huge divergence. We didn't get the confirmation yet for it, but we are in a bearish momentum. The momentum rise actually. You see, here was a previous close, and if you see the difference between the price and the destroyer, and if you go on smaller time frames, see which is the conclusion. Here was divergence, and now we are looking for a continuation with this move. So we see on the different types of time frames, we see the same divergences actually, right? This looks nice. The IXY. Yeah, the start of the week gonna be interesting, because if the AXY starts with a high volatility, it will mean that the zero line is about to break. It will mean we are forecasting a divergence here, but if the price is now um, going up like in the opening of the first hours, this isn't divergence anymore. So if you break the zero line and if this breaks as well, yeah, that will be interesting, which means the Audi gonna be strong in the coming periods. So what is the next job? Looking which is the strongest and the weakest pairs, the CPY. This is gonna be also interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. The CPY is happening here. The CPY from next week. It's gonna be interesting as well. On daily, we see the zero line breaking with this candle as a momentum, something. There's also a structural divergence going on here and here, and also on the destroyer. Yeah, no, maybe on this one. See a bit clear, more clear. You change the Fibonacci with those candles. You see the divergence in. Maybe that was also the reason of the channel. All right. So the stronger, let's say XY, which is dangerous in an effect on larger time frame because we are still looking for a weakness of let's say XY on longer term. But let's stick to the Euro USD, which I said in the start of the game, and I will show also why we're here on a key zone actually, but this is a possible turning point. But even if it doesn't gonna break yet, the price is about to come down to this point, in my opinion. And now, which have the momentum change because there is chance to change it. But if you see the economical side of European Union is like garbage. And now the winter is coming, like in the Game of Thrones, if you know what I mean. But the winter is coming, and yeah, the people they gonna be I don't know how to say that, but it's not a pretty future for the coming months, actually. And this is why I think those zone will break and the price is also about to go down to this side, and from here this could be the next possible move. So even if we see strength in the euro, and we or actually I expecting more this move, I want to see the price from here bouncing. All right, the conclusion, we got everything. Yes, the conclusion for next week, the USD had, if you see this, is still a strong bullish momentum. You can ignore that. Even with this pullback, I will see a future of this strength. In this case, let's start an uptrend. So maybe a ranging, but the next move is about to going up. On weekly basis. I see difference. There is no divergence because there is a convergence. This is also a connecting point. Let's see the zero line reject this candle. So basically, I will wait for 12 o'clock. What is about to happen with the Australian dollar, and Wednesday we besides where the price is about to going to. But see the weekly basis, like I said, the GPB. Let's see the other GPBs. In fact, yeah, the same thing here. Even if the price is about to retest, there's still a downside actually. This is a nice ranging zone. Better. Like this. This will be a key point here. The GPB, GPY. Yeah, the start will be interesting. If you see what is happening with the GPY, that was actually one of the only countries where was no interest. Yeah, there was no interest. Wait, second. Yeah. So Japan was. I will search for the diagram of it, but normally Japan was one of the countries where was no interest increased in the past months, and the rest of the world actually did. And yeah, we see what is happening with the GPY, but I think also it's temporary for them. I would like to see a more stronger GPY to make a retest from this. It also broke under the zero line, which is also a good sign. And the GPP Audi, I don't know which student it was, what we were talking about this pair. It was consolidating actually on that period. Also beautiful move on GPB Audi, and I would see the price making a more and down move actually, which is correct also on the bias on what we did with the indexes. Small momentum. Basically, draw this, but from the structural side, it's also difference in the market. I will pick this more likely, and it is, here is a zero line cross, which is a good point of the trend line. So basically, when you're drawing the trend line and you see the cross on the VV, it's a sign that you're drawing your trend line good, because that is what based on actually. It was also divergence. Nice one. Okay, so I will trade mostly on GPP, looking for the strength longer term. So GPP and ZD almost the same, which means GPP is weak. Here it goes. See, there is a pretty big divergence on 12 hours, which is correct means even if the USD got some weakness, I see the future strength in most of the USD pairs, which means if the XY is about to range, it will go down, but it have to be go up. It's not the right momentum for them as well. It's not the time for USD to fall, not yet, at least not yet. And you see also on the higher time frames that the price is fucking bullish. No more comments on that. I want to see the price bouncing from here. Probably next week there will be high liquidity actually, so there is the chance for that. But don't forget, for the long term, we are still looking for a stronger USD. And also the divergence is coming in, but it's going more down and down. So even the same here, even if we get retest the pullback, I would say mostly like maybe this point. See on weekly basis. Yeah. Just visual drawing those trend lines. Trend line breaks going back. And go down. There's also a point. And coming to this point, which makes it interesting. Mhm. Divergence. A fake out here. I want to see the price bouncing from this trend line, actually. This will be nice. So even on daily basis, which was drawn on weekly, you see the break as divergence. So those are the fake outs. Yeah. Same here, going up. And from this point, I would say there is a huge opportunity from this. See what's happening on the on daily divergence. The volume is also a good tool actually for spot the divergences, and you know the new tool, the old but the new tool, the VVTT. Also, those bounce, bouncing points, one can get back to the zone of the higher of the lower point of the VVTT, we're going to be able to see divergences on it. And if it happens like this point and this point, divergence, and then after that continuation, under 0 line, same thing, bounce from the zone. This could be a pretty good sign that you are thinking correctly about the price and the momentum. Right, here is happening the same, like this point is maybe a double top, what we see, double bottom, sorry, what we see here. Let's say also ranging zone here. This is who's the monthly zone is about to the start point of the month. Yes, we broke that. There was also divergence in this small structure, and You see here also possible divergence, but it's also the same as we saw with the Australian dollar. If the price next week is able to going up, which is now likely to happen, then there will be no divergence anymore if this point breaks here. Where it was. Look, the highest point was about 88.63. So if this goes above 88.63, there is no divergence anymore, actually, because then we will see an convergence, and there is place, like I said, and the topic. Johnny Cage entered the waiting room. Like I said in the group, those are pretty good TPs, take profits. Also, yeah, maybe US 30. The US 30. Let's see what's happening on a weekly basis. Yeah, same thing. It's looking like a butterfly pattern. I don't know if you guys know about WCD patterns. This is how the butterfly looks like. This is an old pattern, actually. Yeah, why not? I will say why not. On daily basis, we see a strong bullish momentum. There was a divergence between the volume as well. Smaller time frame on 12 hours also, and big divergence. So it's the highest point to be correct. So yeah, also some ranging, and then I will expect an up movement. So yeah, we'll stop here, guys. I think I said everything what I wanted from this point. Yes. If there are any questions now, it's time for it. Let's hear it. If you want to say something, I will stop the recording as well.